Hey there, I want to welcome you to Wednesday's edition of Journey Through the Gospels. Today we are in John chapter 6. Have you ever been thirsty or hungry? Now I know we all have been thirsty or hungry. And what is thirst and what is hunger? Well, that's the body's reaction to when it needs food or it needs water. It's that mechanism that God designed and God placed in us that to let us know we need to find food or we need to find water. Have you ever felt another kind of emptiness in you? Maybe a type of emptiness at some point in your life where, like, when you went to fall asleep at night and you laid your head down on the pillow, you were looking up at the ceiling and you were thinking inside, is this all there is to life? I mean, is there something more than this? And we've all felt that at some point in our life. And just the feeling that just nothing seems to satisfy you. And just as that hunger or thirst triggers your body and lets your body know that you need food or you need water, that emptiness inside of us, that void inside of us, is another kind of trigger. It's another kind of thing that alarms us that something is missing inside of us. Now, a lot of people try to fill that void and that missing part inside of them with many different things. They try to work more. They think, if I just work harder at my job and I move up in the company, then that emptiness and that feeling inside of me is going to go away and I'll feel better. Or maybe some people try to fill it with money. If I just make enough money, if I could just get enough money, then that emptiness inside is going to go away. I'm going to feel more fulfilled the more money that I have. Or some people try to fill it with fame. If I could just get enough fame and just enough fortune, if I could become famous, then that emptiness, that would go away. Or they fill it with addiction. They don't know any other way to fill it, and so they medicate, and they take drugs or alcohol, and they try to fill up that void with that. But the thing is that emptiness, that thing inside of us that's triggering that emptiness in us, it's a void that cannot be filled with anything in this life. I mean, nothing in this life can satisfy that. I mean, sure, it may satisfy for a time. I mean, you may be able to work for a while and you may feel satisfied for a time, but eventually you'll get to the place where you feel empty again. Or you may make enough money where you feel okay for a while, but eventually it won't be enough. Or you may get famous enough, but that won't be enough. Or you may take enough drugs or alcohol and they may help for a little while, but then the buzz wears off and the emptiness is still there. But that void and that emptiness inside of you and inside of us that you have felt at some point in your life is a hole inside of us, a hunger and a thirst in us for something greater than anything that you can get in this life. And the thing that it's triggering an emptiness inside of you that can only be filled with Jesus Christ. I mean, He is the only one that can fill that hunger and fill that thirst. And this is what Jesus says in John 6, verse 35. He says, "I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will never go hungry, and he who believes in me will never be thirsty." Will never be hungry, will never be thirsty. I mean, Jesus said in John chapter 4, when He's talking with the woman at the well, He tells her, you're getting water that, you'll drink it, but you'll be thirsty again. But I have water that I can give you that you'll never be thirsty again. I mean, see, the thing that Jesus offers to us is He takes care of the thirst and the hunger. I mean, the spiritual thirst and hunger that we have inside of us can never be filled with money, job, fame, fortune, drugs, and alcohol. Can never be filled with those things. The only thing that can satisfy that hunger and thirst is Jesus. It's Jesus. He's the bread of life. He's the one that can only truly satisfy that hunger and thirst in us. And I hope that you have accepted Christ and that you have experienced that satisfaction. You know, it's that satisfaction, that contentment that we can have that, you know what, even if you lose your job, you can still be content. Even if you are never famous, you can still be content. Even if you are never rich in the world's eyes, you can still be content. You can still be full. You can still be satisfied, because Jesus is the bread of life, and He takes care of that hunger and thirst that only He can satisfy in our lives. And I hope that you have accepted Him and know that to be true in your life. And if not, then you need to surrender your life to Christ, and He will satisfy that hunger and that thirst that you have been searching for in your life. That's going to do it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be in John chapter 7. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.